Hi, doctor. Are you currently seeing patients with shoulder pain? What about frozen shoulder? What if I could teach you a neurological treatment system in which you could literally take a person from frozen shoulder to a full range of motion in 2 visits? And this system is so powerful that we guarantee results in 2 visits, or we don't accept the patient for care. Hi, I'm Dr. Andy Barlow. I'm a board certified chiropractic neurologist. I also carry a fellowship in functional neurology, and every Wednesday night at 5 p.m., I'm giving a 1-hour seminar free of charge. I'm here to help you. I'm here to help your community. I'm here to help our profession go to the next level. I personally look forward to seeing you every Wednesday night. I want to completely change your life and change your community's life. And I can help you do that because I've helped hundreds, if not thousands, of doctors from Europe to Canada, all the way to New Zealand with these types of health issues, okay? So I look forward to seeing you Wednesday night at 5 p.m. Central on the webinar. Have a great day. I look forward to seeing you on the internet.
Probably have an old school website, just like this old school Voltron from the 80s. Here's the thing, video websites are dominating the entire internet right now, but only 3% of people have video websites. What is a video website? When there's continual movement. The beautiful thing about continual movement is that when you have movement, it keeps the buyer wanting to stay on the website. Here's the beautiful thing. If you look here at Dr. Mo's website, he is dominating. His website's everywhere. Not only that, but he's omnipresent. It's about time to get you out of the static world websites where they don't move, doesn't do anything for you, but come into the video websites where we dominate Google and get you omnipresent. It's time to step in the future of marketing. Make sure you click on the button at the bottom for a consultation, and we'll get back with you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mark Anthony with Edge on Regenerative Medicine Show. As you all know, we bring the best of the best doctors in the world within their niches. So I'm really excited today. We have a special guest, Dr. Phil Sledz, DC of Austin, Texas. Today, we're going to be talking about something that we normally don't talk a lot about, but I know that a lot of men and beautiful women out there are listening. The beautiful thing about Dr. Phil, he's not only, of course, not the Dr. Phil from on TV, but hey, we'll take that. Not only a doctor, but an anti-aging specialist. He's an entrepreneur and also a commercial pilot and a clean living enthusiast and a veteran. Again, thank you, all you veterans, and also thank you, Dr. Phil, for serving our country.
Thank you, Mark. That was very humbling. You hit everything. I get, all the things that I'm interested in, and it's great meeting you. I've heard about you. I appreciate all the work that you're doing in regenerative medicine to get the word out there about a lot of different modalities and techniques and things like that that people don't know about. Maybe they aren't as mainstream. So I think I know we had met coincidentally, and here we are talking right now today. So much appreciated. Thanks for having me on your show. It's an honor.
Oh, definitely. Thank you very much. And before we move forward, everyone, I want you guys to go take a look at his website. You can also find him at fundamentalhealthsolutions.com. And today we've got a really cool, I like this title here. It's called Got Wrinkles? Have Joint Discomfort? Looking Weathered? Look no more, a new generation of collagen. Now, this is the cool thing. I'm going 44, going on 45. I don't care how old you are or how old you get, everyone. We all know we want to look better. I know I do. I mean, you can slap me up with whatever you want, keep me looking young, throw me in a box or a freezer. I'm just joking. But with that being said, tell us your story, doctor. I know that you have a lot with what you have to help people. I know that it's been seen on NBC, Fox News, Prof Love magazines. I believe one of us, Miss Fitness magazine, New Beauty magazine, Prevention Eat Clean magazine. Tell us a little bit about your story of how you got here and why you're focusing on this.
Right. Well, yeah. Thank you again for all that. The story in a nutshell, years ago, I was you could say in a previous life, fighter pilot in the United States Marine Corps. And in that lifestyle, it was very taxing, as most military people who spend time in the military, it is on their bodies. It's a stressful lifestyle. Being in fighters, we're flying around and there's a lot of G-force compression, forces on our body that in the long run can create a lot of wear and tear and stress. So consequently, because of some injuries that I sustained in the Marine Corps doing that, it led to some, I'd say really severe disabling discomfort injuries with my joints, my nerves, and things like that. So I had started me down the path into natural health and healing. And after trying many different modalities, conventional and non-conventional, and I'm obviously in my field of chiropractic medicine, we focus on a lot of natural modalities to help the body. And I have a lot of friends, and I appreciate the help that I got in acupuncture and a lot of different other fields too. And they really lended to some of the success I had. But I really wanted to put a nail in the coffin with this injury, because I was going to go out there in health and be this example of health and tell people this is what you need to do to get better. However, I still had my own issues I was working on. And it was one of these things I think, well, I can't hide this from people. I need to be authentic. I need to show people by example. I need to tell them the truth. So I'd been in nutrition for many, many years, and I didn't have a lot of luck until I found this. It was about 8 or 9 years ago, this unique form of collagen and HA. And they got around the main issue. The main issue was absorption. And so in the supplement world, with these components that help our joints, namely collagen, and there's a few others. So hyaluronic acid is another. We've all heard of chondroitins and glucosamines,
Right.
and they're part of this family of nutrients. And I had been taking everything and anything under the sun from different brands, different companies, to try to help this situation naturally in that way, to help rebuild this, and give myself some relief.
Right.
And they all share this absorption challenge. So when this company came around, they developed it and they did it right. They realized the problem was absorption. They fixed it by making it more absorbable. And now they can, thanks to their studies that they did on people with a lot of joint discomfort types of issues or skin issues, because it works equally in the joints and the skin, it helped me give me my life back. So it was a godsend in a lot of ways. And I'm able to
how long have you been using this?
help myself. Yeah, I've been now using about 9 years. 9 years.
Wow, okay. Well, did it start?
So it didn't happen.
Did it work right away, or did it take a while, or how did that work?
Right. So there's a building process of it in the body. So once they fix the absorption issue, and they can lend to these things that they can say proven. So while other formulas can say it may help with wrinkles, may help with joint discomfort and stiffness and things like that, they can say proven too, because going back to the studies. So with that, I'm sorry, I think I just lost it. Your last question.
Yeah. So how long did it take for this to start to work for you? Did you notice? I know everybody's different, because everyone, just depending where they're at.
Right. So it took me about 3.5, 4 months, and I was doing a double dose. So it takes 1 month basically just to build up in the body. So a lot of people, we're kind of wired to, in this fast food kind of environment, to take things and we expect things fast. Yeah. And that's understandable because of that. But there is a building process, and it was about month 3 that I noticed a lot of the extremity symptoms that I had going on started to fix themselves. Yeah.
Okay. So, wow. So 9 years, you noticed it within about 3 to 4 months.
Yeah.
And then just as you and I know, we just have pictures, in the front of people. I mean, I saw some interesting wrinkles, people being really wrinkled and all of a sudden not wrinkled. If I had a penny for every time I I've talked to certain people in my family saying that, you know, how can you help me with this and not get wrinkled and stuff like that. This is something that would actually help benefit right away. I mean, people that want to see those type of results dissipate, correct?
Right, right. So the science board, we have a science advisory board with this company,
Right.
and what we've recommended is a 90-day trial at a minimum, because it takes 1 month. And what they were able to show with this type of collagen and HA is very unique. So it was proven to elevate types 1, 2, and 3. So this is the only form of collagen that can elevate all 3 main types. And it's the only type that's been proven to elevate hyaluronic acid. So hyaluronic acid is responsible for hydration, lubrication in your joints. When we lose it, we start to get stiff. In the skin, it's responsible for a supple elasticity and hydration, so it fills. So it's a natural filler. The collagen is the tensile strength. So when you push on something, it's like a trampoline. It gives you that springy feeling that comes back. And like you had talked about, you know, all these different areas of the body, you know, people, the big thing today is people want to look and feel their best at any age. That's it's about function. And if you can increase some cosmetic benefits, then sure, that's great. That's super as well. Why not? And there's nothing wrong with looking and feeling your best. And with this, though, the reach goes further because it's not just limited to the injection site. So that's the trouble with injections, is that injections have to be repeated. And they work locally at the injection site, where this really goes out through the whole body. And it works throughout your entire body's network of connective tissue. And connective tissue is just a big, broad term for tendons, ligaments, your fascia. Fascia is everywhere. Your discs, and your discs need hydration. So, and then the dermis layer of the skin. That's there's a lot of connective tissue in these substances that go into this. It's really a matrix ingredient, a collagen matrix, which means it's an array of different things in an orderly arrangement. So it's not just like the other collagen products out there, which are usually just one type. Some are adding more, but again, they have the absorption issue. But this is an array of that and all these other substances they call ground substances, which make up a human skin or human joints and connective tissue.
So what I'm hearing you say, I want to make sure that we're on the same page, is that I don't have to get an injection.
You don't have to now, and I'm not.
Or you're not going to cut me up or anything like that, you know?
No, you don't have to. And actually, you're addressing aging at the causal level this way. You know, I became impassioned to help people by addressing the cause, and that's kind of what I do in functional medicine. Not kind of, that is what we do. We go as far upstream as possible. And so when we think about how we age and how we form wrinkles, or how we have cartilage breakdown in the body, it's due to mostly this thing called oxidative stress, which means we get free radicals, and it damages these tissues. So if we think about elevating collagen or replacing collagen, that's really the way to affect these areas with the greatest impact, going at the causal level. So collagen is like, I compare it to like a tree branch. So if you have a young tree branch, you know, that's really young, it's flexible, and you see those trees in like a storm, you see it sway and bend, and they can bend extensively just to match the force of the wind. And then as the tree gets older, the branch, you know, can get brittle and dry out and stiff. Instead of bending, you bend it, you know, so far, and then boom, it snaps. That's kind of what happens to your collagen. So it's important to not only protect it, so you keep it in that supple, flexible, strong form as long as possible. And then we add some things in that with antioxidants, but also that you're replacing, that you replace it. So it's really, you don't need to go in under the knife. I have clients who do. And the best thing one of my friends who's a plastic surgeon says, they really want to do this because if they do have something like that happen, and that's their personal choice, then why not preserve the work as long as possible? Because they've already invested in that type of work. So why not, you know, make it last and look great for as long as possible? The analogy being, you know, you and I guys, we probably like cars. So if you go out and you buy a Porsche 911, you know, you don't just let it sit out there in the sun all the time and let the, you know, the bugs that you hit bake in, or get at the salt water or whatever if you're by the ocean. You wash it, you wax it, you take care of it. So this is basically the same thing.
Wow. So the beautiful thing about this is a cream.
It is, yeah. So it's actually two things. That's a good question. It came originally in its original form was an ingestible liquid. So we call it aging or beauty or health from the inside out, and that includes addressing the joints from the inside out. So really, it goes back to the size. So the molecular weight is what we mean by the size of the molecule. So molecular weight, size, and collagen in its unmodified form is too large to be absorbed. So what happens is when we ingest it, we largely send most of it out through the bowel. And that's what most people don't realize when they're taking these bovine, which are cow and porcine sources of collagen. So this form has a modified, unique size that we can absorb, reaches all these different tissues, and that's how we see the benefit on that. So
Wow. So the cool thing is,
to answer your question, so the inside out is the main way that we affect that, and they came about with the topical form later. So the topical form has the collagen and HA in it, the way your body actually has it. So collagen and HA as one molecule together. So primarily, most of the results I had shared with clients were from just drinking it. And that way it starts with the hypodermis, the deepest layer of the skin, then it goes into the middle, the dermis, and then it also reaches that outer layer from the inside out. So now with the added topical line, they're able to create this 360-degree coverage effect, kind of sandwich effect is what we call that, when they bring in the topicals, because now they can have it seep in through the outer topical layers of the skin and come in, so you get this doubling effect.
So what I'm hearing you say is that you have it to where you can have it internal and of course put the cream on. So you're basically killing two birds with one stone. You're getting not just the inside, because what's good is if you get the inside, it's going to come automatically out. So what I'm hearing you say is that it actually gets the healing process of the cells to rejuvenate quicker. Am I on the same page?
Yeah, so you're really, so the collagen and HA are kind of like outside the cell substances.
Right.
But some are inside, some are inside. But yeah, you're getting it into and around those areas of the body more quickly, and you're doing a lot of natural filling. Now, HA has been something that's been used medically. I'll just throw this in. And it's been sourced in a way and modified in a way where they use it in fillers a lot of times in the skin. However, they do some things to modify it so that you get this exaggerated look, so it doesn't break down. So the trouble with HA has been, until this came around, and like you pointed out, all the accolades and industry awards. So this ingredient has won multiple industry awards and accolades because of the ability to stabilize the HA and put it in an absorbable form, and the collagen. And that basically goes in and it fills all these spaces around in and where it's needed in the joints and the skin. Yeah.
Wow. So it's funny. I know you've been using it for 9 years now. It's funny, when we first met online, I was like, man, this guy looks so young. So, I mean, what people don't know is that you're 90, and I'm just amazed how well you look. Just joking.
Thank you. Yeah. Hey, if I can look like this at 90, I'll take it. Absolutely.
You're funny. I'll take it. No, I was surprised when you told me like how old you were, and I was like, man, this guy's skin is unbelievable. Like, that's the first thing that I was thinking in my head. Like, this guy's skin is unbelievable. I'm sure you get that a lot.
I'll hear it. I welcome it. I'll welcome it. Yeah, thank you. So if I turn red, then we might need a product to help my skin decrease the redness from blushing. So thank you for the compliment.
So how can people get a hold of you? You know, we have the phone number on the screen. I know people can also DM you through the thread here. Are there any suggestions that, because I know there's already people that want to know how they can utilize this. I know for a fact, my mom will be one of them.
Okay. So the website, I'm here in Austin, Texas. Fundamental Health Solutions is a way that they can reach out. We have an office line. They can leave a voicemail. We've also have a way you can message directly through the website. Facebook is great. So if people are watching it right now on Facebook, send a message. and I'll try to check those messages as often as possible. That's a great way. So basically, you know, it's been, for me, it's been a word of mouth. It's been a word of mouth that's been catching on a lot lately. The company that made this, it grew actually during this toughest economy ever, 178%.
Wow.
So that can be kind of mind-boggling, because we didn't know what was going to happen. I think, like a lot of people, didn't know how the economy might adjust with everything going on and what people's finances are and so forth. But we've realized that this is something that is in extremely high demand, and it's making an impact on people's lives in a favorable way. So it's been something that a lot of people, you know, like I said, going back to that quality of life, people want to look and feel their best. And the unwanted effects of aging, you know, we want to keep the wanted effects of aging, the wisdom, the, you know, the knowledge, the skill sets, the relationships we've built. It's just those unwanted parts that we just don't really have any great solutions for until now. So thank goodness for the scientific team that put this together, that made it happen. And like I said, it's really been a blessing for a lot of people in a lot of different ways.
I know for you, you know, owning a practice, and then of course being in functional medicine, that, you know, I know I would be thinking in my head, okay, so I'm coming to you as a chiropractor, and then I know that a lot of the people that, you know, you're helping with, you know, whether it's knee, back, whatever, you know, type of situation they're in, that a lot of them are actually wanting this product. And you were telling me how it's just like almost everybody. So, I mean, I'm just like amazed, because normally you would think, okay, he's a chiropractor, he does chiropractic care. How would chiropractic care go with, you know, I call it beauty?
Yeah. So tying them together, is that what you're asking? Yeah. Well, it's that kind of that functional medicine approach. I think I see more of my peers out there in regenerative medicine, in functional medicine. I have a lot of friends that I'm friends with on Facebook that are naturopathic doctors and physicians and healthcare practitioners. And I think the big thing is that people are looking for more complete ways to reach and help people. It's the whole notion, you know, if you've heard, used to say, if all you have is a hammer, then everything you look at starts to look like a nail. So if all you have is a hammer in your toolbox, then, you know, you're going to apply the hammer to fix everything. So the goal is to add as many tools as possible to your toolbox, so you have more reach. And what this has allowed me is to have more reach with patients. I can go further into their health dilemmas when it comes to joint issues and skin issues, and addressing it at the causal level. If I may, I just wanted to explain, could I explain some of the unique properties? Please, about collagen? I would love for you to do that. Okay, so in the process, we're seeing right now collagen products just pop up left and right. So the collagen boom was here. It's here now. And it was kicked off by actually this company, which is really interesting. And again, going back to the whole absorption, because the absorption was the main challenge, that when people take it or they use topical forms of collagen, not as much, but hyaluronic acid for their skin, then you're not absorbing it. So if we use it in an unmodified form, we put it on our skin, the cream that it comes with, the serum that it comes with, yes, that's going to seep in. We're going to feel changes with that, but we're not going to get the larger unmodified sized hyaluronic acid or collagen that's going to sit on the surface. People think that they are, when in actuality it's sitting out there, not really doing what you think it's supposed to be or what it's selling. Same thing when we ingest it orally, is that it has to pass through these really tight membranes in our small intestine, and in order to reach your skin, your hair, your nails, your joints. Right. And again, our body is built of largely collagen. It's the most abundant protein in the body. And 90%, so 90% of your body's collagen are types 1, 2, and 3. So there's many different types. So now we're seeing collagen come with different types. You know, they're saying, mine's got 8 types, mine's got 6. However, the dilemma is the absorption, again, going back to the size. If it's not modified, and we're not talking by a little, we're not talking 10% smaller, 20%, we're talking 200 times smaller. 200 times smaller than it originally comes off, you know, a chicken source, or otherwise you and I could eat grandma's chicken soup, which I grew up on, you know, love that. And that would be turning back the clock, so but it doesn't, there's a lot of nutrient benefit there. Of course, there's a lot of health benefits, but if we really want to benefit from the collagen, it needs to be modified. And being able to say proven to elevate types 1, 2, and 3 is really important in my mind. In the body, types 1 and 3 mostly make up our skin. And there's a little bit of type 2 in there, a little bit of type 2. Whereas if you go to the joints, it's mostly type 2 is the most abundant type of collagen, and types 1 and 3, a little bit in there. So you really need those first 3 types, because again, that's 90% of your body's collagen network. All the others would be helpful or nice, but this is what really makes up you. And then when it comes to the other main ingredient in there, which is the hyaluronic acid, they're of a large molecular weight too, large size. So it has to be modified, shrunk down, and then the body can absorb it. Now, hyaluronic acid, if it's new to you or other people that are watching that haven't heard of it, hyaluronic acid, or HA is what we call it, is what we call a hydrophilic molecule, or water loving. And so these substances and other substances in there, like glucosamine sulfate and chondroitin sulfate and the keratins and elastin, because this is a matrix. This isn't just type 1 collagen, type 2 just collagen, but it's a matrix of all these ingredients. These are the water-philic or water-loving types of molecules in there, and you need that because that's what pulls in the hydration in these tissues. So when you have HA, a lot of people, well, I'll just go back. Here's how we age. So how we age is we have these enzymes in the body that break down collagen and HA. And we have anabolic enzymes in our body that build things up, and then we have catabolic that break things down.
Right.
And so from birth, collagen actually builds up. It actually builds up until about ages 25 and 28. Then the catabolic, or breaking down enzymes, outperform the ones that build it up, and we start to have a net loss.
But can you sustain those when they're going down? Can you start to sustain them to bring them back up, or?
So we can delay them with antioxidants. We can delay the breakdown and regulating inflammation in the body. That's what's very important. And then we can delay that breakdown also by creating an elevation, by elevating the types 1, 2, and 3. So that's the main way we can slow that process for the collagen.
But if you delay it, there's got to be a way. I see you're talking about delaying, but I'm seeing, the results that you guys have are amazing. It almost seems like you're reversing, because, okay, now we're delaying, but there's got to be something where it's reversing. Am I correct?
Yeah, it's going to delay.
I feel like you're going to stay there. Like in my mental head, if you delay, okay, you're going to delay for me not to look any much older than this. But from the pictures I'm seeing, it doesn't look like delaying. It looks like reversing. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and everyone's different. So those are great results. The pictures that we're able to share tell a lot of the story, and it really depends on your physiology, but it does elevate. So it can say proven to elevate. So if collagen's on the decrease, like I mentioned, like you just talked about, and we're increasing it, well, we're certainly changing the trajectory of that curve, and we can have a favorable impact. HA, on the other hand, we start losing that immediately from birth. And this is the neat thing about this form of hyaluronic acid, is that it's because of its low molecular weight. They found that when they tested it on humans, so they have 37 clinical trials on this ingredient. We're not talking about collagen and HA in general. They don't do that like the other companies are doing, but just on this unique ingredient. And that's what's lended to the 7 patents. So you and I, it's hard enough just to get a trademark. I tried doing that a long time ago, let alone to get 1 patent, but they have 7, and it goes to the absorption of this ingredient. So going back to the HA, they found that when they gave it to human test subjects in randomized double-blind trials, which means neither the researcher or the test subject knows what they're getting. They could be getting Kool-Aid, they could be getting it, that it elevated on the low end 60-fold or 6,000% the HA levels, and on the high end, it elevated 90-fold or 9,000%. So they report the low end, but that's incredible. So that takes a person's body back to hyaluronic acid levels that which would be representative maybe in their, late mid-20s, early 30s. And so this is why athletes, I have so many athletes that love this, is because it gives them such a high level of performance and healing in the body. And going back, just if I can add one more thing about the HA. So we talked about how these are water loving molecules.
Right.
And so they pull hydration in, it pulls hydration into the skin. So as you age, that enzyme that breaks down HA starts immediately from birth. Unlike collagen, which goes up and then down, HA we start losing from birth. So they say you go from a plum to a prune. That's the same. That's the same. But with this, we can actually elevate the HA level, so you can really change that aging process. And because it loves water, and because its main job is to hold water, we're pulling water into the skin. We're pulling it into our joints. So HA largely makes up that super slick WD-40-like substance that we lose that creates stiffness. So when you lose it in your joints, you get stiffness. When you lose it in your discs, the discs in your back, your spine, you have discs in your jaw. These discs have this HA in there because it holds water for the shock absorption property. And so you can actually rehydrate these.
Wow. So it's if I can use the word, regenerating stuff like joints. So if per se, someone had a joint situation, it would regenerate that, which would put more water in between those. I don't know if I can say that, more water in between them, which creates
lubrication,
more comfortable.
right. Less, right. You're getting rid of discomfort. You're getting rid of stiffness. And yeah,
That's funny. You and I are thinking the same thing. Is that funny?
Yeah. And it creates that cushion. So it makes up the substance between our joints called synovial fluid. And any doctor, any health practitioner has heard of this. It's made by a delicate layer of cartilage called hyaline cartilage, and hence the name hyaluronic acid, because it has the same prefix. So it's made in our joints. That's where it's made. It's also made in other areas of the body, but it's made in our joints. And what happens is that as we age, we have wear and tear, we have stress in the body. And, we all can relate to physical stress. That's where we get hit. We play football, we fall down, we fall off our bike. We start damaging that delicate layer of cartilage, because most of the cartilage in the joints is really thick, durable cartilage for shock absorption. So that thin layer gets damaged pretty easily. And one of the other ways that we don't really consider it getting damaged is with chemical stress. So medications, lifestyle, diet, promoting inflammation also can speed up the ability at which that delicate layer that produces the fluid breaks down. So once that membrane gets damaged, then it makes less and less of it, and we can't heal the joint the same way. And so by taking it in this absorbable form that elevated it in the bloodstream, you're actually able to get it into the joints, deep into these tissues, and deep into the skin, which is why we see so many effects with decreasing wrinkles, decreasing fine lines, minimizing the visible effects of cellulite is another one, because you get the dimpling in the dermis layer of the skin. But it really goes in there into the joints and creates this fluid that helps bathe and heal the joints. And then they were able to demonstrate chondrocyte, which are cartilage forming cells, increased activity. So they have some studies that showed on MRI a significant amount of cartilage increase from it.
Interesting. So stress, food, the type of food that we eat, if we're overweight or even underweight, not drinking enough water, all of these, if we're not doing these, this could actually affect the way that we look. Meaning it could, I don't know if I'm using the correct term, but it could actually hurt the cells in your body, which creates sunkenness and deformations and stuff like that happen with our face sometimes.
Right. That's exactly right. In a nutshell, the lifestyle and diet we live has a tremendous impact on those enzymes that break us down. You got enzymes building you up, and then you have enzymes that break us down, and the ones that break us down get sped up with inflammation. So things that we are doing in our body that can create inflammation, we're actually contributing to our own demise a little bit more quickly.
So we don't want to be taking this while we're eating, going to McDonald's all the time and then trying to utilize this. I mean, it doesn't, if you want it to speed up and work.
Right. I don't know if combining it with a Big Mac would be the best way to get the biggest bang for your buck.
Bang for your buck, So all collagens are not equal.
Correct. Yeah, very different. And to date, that's a great point and comment, Mark, is there's many types of collagen products out there, yet there's only one that is patented. There's only one still today. And this one shares 7 patents. Actually, to be technically correct, there is one other form out there, but it's because it has amino acids that come in its natural form, and they were able to show that this is unique because it has amino acids like tryptophan and some other things with it. But that doesn't get around the main issue. The main issue is the absorption. And so again, if you don't shrink it by this factor of 150 to 200 times, then it doesn't get absorbed and it doesn't reach your skin, your hair, your nails. So you don't get these anti-aging benefits and effects in our skin and our joints. That's really the issue. And that's what those patents go to.
Yeah, but so I'm just saying we see collagen everywhere. So like, how do I know, I mean, I'm just going to use this as an example. I buy this water, and let's just say it has collagen in it. I'm just making this up. And I'm looking and it says collagen. How do I know if it's the right collagen? So like, how do I mean, if it's not all created equal, how do I know what to look for? What should I look for?
Well, one thing that you want to look for is in a liquid form. Okay. And now because of what we did with ours and making this liquid form, there's other forms that are coming out with liquids. However, when you check those, they don't use a true liquefaction of the collagen, meaning they aren't taking the rigorous steps to take something that's a solid and make it into a liquid. What's happening is they're typically taking the powders that they got from hooves and hides of cows and pigs, which are really, they're cheaper forms of collagen, but they aren't compatible with ours. So it's really—
Could they work a little? Would they work maybe a little bit, but maybe not as strong as a patent collagen?
Right. They can if they've taken some of the first steps, an early step in hydrolyzing it. And so if they can take that step, that can help a little bit. However, there are still many more steps to make it smaller and more absorbable. So they're showing that the powders, if they do the right things, this is if a powder does the right thing, the absorption rate can be in the mid 20s, low 30s as far as percentage of absorption. Taking the steps that this company has with this ingredient, this patented ingredient, they've increased it to, in the studies, 96, 97%.
Wow.
And that's really good. So you really get a bigger bang for your buck. And that, again, goes back to the skin and the joint results that we've been sharing. So
the reason why I was asking, so our family, we're very much into organic foods and trying to find the best, eating clean as possible. And like we bought this in a box. It's collagen. It has collagen in our stock broth. And so I love broth. Like, it's wrong. I mean, I'll have a whole box by myself, just drink it, and I'll put my little seasonings in it. But, in the back of my head, I'm always wondering, does this really help? Because I'm drinking it internally. I have maybe I drink two boxes a week, because I just love the taste. I put a couple drops of Tabasco and I'm happy, So, I mean, when it says,
hey, I'm a Texas, so we like our spice too.
You know what? I know that, they don't recommend, chili, but it's I don't know. You put a couple drops of Tabasco, it just changes everything, but does that stuff really work, or do you think it's just more for the sales part? It's always like that in the back of my head, is it really collagen? Do you know what I mean?
Right. I think the collagen's in there, and I think it is. I still go back to the main issue of absorption. So it has to be modified. So if you're getting a broth, or some of the newer forms are using what they say liquids, these are more a solution of collagen. So let me just explain the difference between a liquid, really a true liquid, and a solution. So, if you were to take a tablespoon of table salt and you mix it in water, you have a salt water solution. So
right.
If you boil a broth, if you boil a chicken bone, you're taking these solids and they're coming in there, but they really can be separated out pretty easily from the solution of the water. The same thing with some of these other collagen liquids. They're coming out and they're taking the powder, and you can really grind it down. And then if you mix it in with water, you can say, okay, we have a collagen liquid.
There we go.
It's not the same as taking the solid piece of collagen itself from the source And this comes from a very unique source. So it comes from one tiny area of a certain animal, which is the tip of the wishbone of the chicken. And they take the steps to break it down into a much smaller size, like 200 times smaller, and then they liquefy it through that process. So this actually can be absorbed under the tongue initially, which is a unique property of certain types of medications too. This is not a medication. This is natural. This is safe. This has no toxic side effects. It's been tested at 30 times its normal dose for safety and toxicity. So it's very effective in that way. And they wanted to get all the science right. But that's the difference between a liquid and a solution, because people are looking to compete, and they want to be able to compete with some of the ingredients that have really set the tone and raised the bar. So they're looking to say things and do things, including using a name that's similar to what this patented ingredient is, in order to sell theirs. Because we see the same prefix or last portion of the name included on other brands. So I think it's kind of a flattery in a way. That's a huge
compliment. Instead of collagen, it's collagen something. Instead of Nike, Schneike. But no, I totally understand. What would you say that collagen gives you more energy? What are some of the effects besides looking good? Like, are there any effects that we should know of that it does for us?
That's good. So yeah, the main effects that it can do when it's with hyaluronic acid are, of course, decreasing stiffness, decreasing skin wrinkles, fine lines, and creases, and hydrating our body and our skin. And then one of the other things, we have a large number of Olympic and professional athletes. I can name that use this with tremendous benefit, and they've tweeted it, they've put it on Facebook, they've got it out there in their social media, so they're pretty easy to find. Just a couple, Maureen Shea, she's the real $1 million baby. Corey, Clint Eastwood tells the story about the boxer, the $1 million baby. So Maureen Shea was really the inspiration, and she helped train Hilary Swank for that and kind of tell that story. That's not exactly how the story ended. It ended with a happy ending for the real $1 million baby, but she's a professional boxer.
You ruined it for me.
She was, what's that?
I'll go, you just ruined it for me.
So she was able to go on and be a successful boxer. We have NFL superstar Willie Harper, played for the San Francisco 49ers. Jamie Anderson, the last Winter Olympics, two-time gold medalist. It rehabilitated her. She heard it from a friend on the U.S. Olympic ski team. No way. These are just a handful of the athletes. So it has an effect of decreasing recovery time, to answer your question to the point. So they've been able to show it can actually decrease. They have 3 or 4 now, I think, that are peer-reviewed studies indexed in PubMed, which is where we as researchers or doctors like to go to find our research. And it can show that it decreases the markers that contribute to muscle and connective tissue breakdown, therefore increasing the recovery time between exertion. And I'll just explain a couple things I found. It's very true. I mountain bike a lot here, and I've fallen down quite a few times. I have a mountain bike where I snap in kind of like ski bindings. And sometimes I've gotten some terrain that's been uneven, and I've taken a nasty spill. I had maybe a small dinner plate sized bruise on the head of my femur from one of the spills I took. And I was surprised at how fast all the inflammation, the swelling, the fluid, and the discomfort went down, and the amount of time that it did to help me get back on my bike again. So
wow,
decreases the recovery time for people looking to exert, for any kind of exertion.
Wow, I love that. So the next big question I have, I know that you're helping people out, but you're also helping doctors out there. So, is there anything that you'd like to say to any of your doctors, your colleagues out there that maybe want to start to get this to where they could do what you're doing, helping other people, adding a piece to their practice, which I think is very important right now. A lot of doctors, and I'm not saying anything bad, but they're just staying where they're at. In a time of where we're at, we need to expand instead of, decompressing. We got to compress forward. What would you say to a lot of the doctors out there?
Yeah, that's a really good point. Expansion is essential. I mean, they say if you're not growing, you're actually shrinking. There is no maintain. And I can tell you in years of practice, I found that to be true. So to people in health, it doesn't matter if you're, it's to all doctors, but also trainers, physical trainers. Have reached out to me, people in acupuncture, people in naturopathy, just asking about this because they want to more completely help their patients, and it's easy. It's pretty easy to obtain. They have largely how the company has set it up is through an e-commerce mechanism. So you can go online, and it's where I point my patients and clients to and say, hey, here you go. And I can throw in a little discount for them on the first purchase if they like. And then we just get them going with a 90-day trial. So it's really simple. It's really simple to implement into your practice or business if a person's into business, and this is their thing. So it's a really kind of, they give you an app, and it's kind of like they give you the keys, they give you the whole thing, and it's pretty easy to just implement. And they also help out with kind of marketing and giving you the information you need to understand it a little bit more. For the doctors out there, they take the science very seriously. We have a scientific advisory board. Everything's centered around the 37 clinical trials, and then from there we just build. And so it's a few steps. It's really easy to implement. I found it very simple to put into my practice.
I love it. And so doctors out there, friends, colleagues, I don't care if you do sports nutrition, it doesn't matter. If you're passionate about health and you're passionate about bottom line is getting better. I feel that, this product, it basically helps you with your wrinkles, helps you to get out of discomfort, your joints. That's a cool thing. Get you out of discomfort. How many people out there that are right now that are in discomfort with their knees? They're even, hey, there's people that they don't talk a lot about it, TMJ, stuff like that. Joints. I don't care, any type of joint. If you're not, a lot of people, they feel weathered and they want that brightness. They want to get that, I call it that snap, back. This is something you guys want to look into. This is a whole new generation of collagen that has been perfected. Give Dr. Phil Sledz, a call. You can call the number on the screen. You can look at we have the website right here, fundamentalhealthsolutions.com. This is a proven product. You're probably wondering, why are we not mentioning the name of the product? Guess what? Call the number on the screen. You'll get it. Thank you so much, Dr. Phil. I appreciate you for being here.
Thanks, Mark. And can I add one more thing?
One more thing.
Sure. So, that was a great wrap up. But in our world, in helping people with joints or skin, we all have, as practitioners, things that we love to do. I'm a chiropractor and I have certain things that I like to do. I know I have a lot of friends out there that have techniques and things that they do that help people with different types of conditions or situations. So this isn't to say, it's not a takeaway and say, this is what you need, not that. This is to augment. It's an augmentation tool to go further, to increase your reach and provide solution where maybe you had bumped into a wall for some limits. So that's basically the big takeaway that's been for me and how I've been able to reach other people more completely.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you again so much, Doctor, for being here on the show. You are a blessing. And guess what, guys? He's ready to help bless others with what he has. And you know what to do. Call the number on the screen. Give the doctor a call. If you have any questions, you can also put it on the thread down here on the bottom or just DM them. Have a great day, everyone. And remember, everyone, share this video. Share it. Smash the like button. Why? Because one video can change one person's life. One video. I know for a fact the reason why I'm always having doctors on our show is because I had a couple doctors that helped change my life. Literally. This is why I'm passionate about what I do. So my focus and passion is to get people in front of you to help doctors get their word out there, because a lot of doctors, good doctors, are being muzzled. Cool thing is I'm not a doctor, so you can't muzzle me. Call this doctor. God bless you all, and I'll see you all at the top. Thanks, Doc.
Thanks, Mark.